Hi, my name is Swayam Prabha and I am here to present Swayam Prabha Introspection by using Subjective Personal Introspection as a research methodology. The objective of the presentation is to do a self-introspection of my own buying behavior and find answers to questions like, what kind of consumer am I? Am I an ethical buyer? Is there a cultural dimension to my purchases? Am I buying it rationally or is there an impulse behind it? Is there a need that I'm trying to satisfy or is it an image that I want to create in the society? The consumer buying process can be very simplistic and at the same time it can be very complex. When I say simplistic, it means that there is a need which is defined, followed by the search, then evaluation of alternatives is done, and then purchase happens, consumption happens, and post-purchase evaluation is done. When I say consumer buying behavior has become complex, it means the need itself is influenced by a lot of external stimuli, followed by search, which is influenced by environmental factors, and even purchase is influenced by individual differences like attitude, value, life cycle, and purchasing power. The aim of the presentation is to critically self-evaluate my own purchasing behavior by using subjective personal introspection. The flow of the presentation will be a brief definition of subjective personal introspection followed by the segmentation, which means which segment group do I belong to, then the factors influencing my consumer buying behavior, then there will be a part about how the culture affects my consumption behavior, am I an ethical consumer, and a quick marketing recommendation to the marketing managers by telling them how to deal with consumer buying behavior of people who are like me. Subjective personal introspection is a technique which involves examining one's own emotional and mental process. It involves looking inward and assessing one's own personal experience to define their behavior. When the researcher and the subject becomes the same, the technique is categorized as research introspection. Although SPI has been criticized multiple times by a lot of academicians because it is not a scientific way of doing it and hence it is not reliable. But in my opinion, SPI is really helpful because while doing this, I analyze a lot of things about myself. And if I don't know myself as a consumer, how do I expect the marketers to know about me? Segmentation. Segmentation plays a pivotal role in today's date as consumers' need and wants are different and they react differently to different marketing mix. Customizing products for every consumer is not possible, and therefore defining segments becomes paramount. I will be using Wall's theory to define my segment. When I undertook the Wall's theory, I realized that I fall into an experiencer and an achiever segment. Experiencer is someone like me, up-to-date, fashionable, trendy, relies heavily on friends, spontaneous, sociable, and have a heightened sense of visual stimulation. On the other hand, achievers' consumer segment are family-oriented, peer-conscious, professional, hardworking, and considers money gives authority. Considering the experiencer and achiever aspect while undertaking SPI, I found that I am an impulsive buyer. Impulsive buying is defined as an unintended, unconsciously planned, non-reflective reaction which occurs after being exposed to stimuli and it triggers immediate action. Impulse buying is a hedonic behavior which is marked with emotion and pleasure, unlike the utilitarian behavior which is more rational. Factors influencing my buying behavior. Factors affecting my buying behavior, which is completely impulse in nature. So there are 4 factors which affect my buying behavior. Number 1 is external stimuli, internal stimuli, demographic factors, and situational factors. When I say external stimuli, it means elements like store ambience, odor, background music, display of clothes on mannequin. All these factors make a lot of difference on my impulse shopping. In-store display, combo offering, discounts along with the return policy gives me the freedom to purchase. But what is most important is the promotional mix. It acts as a base for differentiating one store from the another. Internal stimulation. Shopping for me is experience, fun, and it gives me a lot of pleasure. I visit at least 5 to 10 different stores just to check what is there in fashion, what is new in the market. I show a strong tendency to apply variety-seeking purchase behavior. Brand loyalties may change quickly, but I'm still brand conscious. Also, emotions make a lot of difference to my buying behavior. I still remember I had spent around 120 pounds just on clothes and shoes purchased when I had a breakup with my boyfriend. That shows my emotional aspect. Situational factors. Time, money, and availability of the product makes a lot of difference on my impulse shopping. If I have time and if the product is available in the store, I might go for more in-store browsing, and if I find something which is of my size and I like the color, I will purchase it, and followed by a revisit. Because I have the time, I have the money, and the product is always available in the stores that I visit, so my shopping tendencies increase. Demographic and socio-cultural factors. I am more impulsive buyer than my family, possibly because I am younger. It's said that women are more impulsive buyers than men. Women buy symbolic products that are associated with their appearance and emotional aspect of self. The clothes that I wear and I purchase are directly influenced by my home country, India, where I was born and brought up. Clothes are a socially driven thing, and status and character is defined by what type of clothes you're wearing. So which brings me to the cultural aspect of my impulse buying behavior. Culture plays a very important role in my buying behavior. Although I'm an impulsive buyer, both in UK and in India, but being brought up in a collectivist society, even after purchasing random fashionable things, I can't wear them in India the way I can wear them in UK. Family and society impacts heavily on the clothes I wear. I will be using Hofstede's theory and Trianda's theory to explain this further. Hofstede's theory of individualism collectivism states that people living in a collectivist society considers in-groups like family as an important aspect in their buying behavior. Trianda's added to this theory by giving a psychological dimension to the cultural dimension and labeled it as idiocentrism and allocentrism. Allocentrism occurs at an individual level and has a sense of self which is interdependent on in-groups like family. Relationship with in-groups and interdependent self-concept is high importance in a collectivist society. Also, there is a perceived social risk as well which prevails when making buying decisions, as the in-group might not approve for it. The social status has to be maintained as well, and the clothes should convey belongingness to the society. Social approval and family agreements makes a lot of difference in what I wear in India. Skinny clothes and revealing clothes are not socially acceptable in India. So even if I end up purchasing such type of clothes, I don't go down well with the society, and at times I need to seek approval before wearing them, as I'm showing a deviant behavior. As an individual and an impulse buyer, I have the freedom to purchase the clothes of my choice, but whether I can wear them or not depends on which culture I am in, which means that I display high allocentrism in India and low allocentrism in UK, and hence I have become more impulsive buyer in UK because there is no conformity that I have to seek before buying, because there is no society in which I have to fit. Hence, my impulse buying has aggravated in UK compared to India. Impulse buying and ethical consumerism. Ethical consumerism refers to considering social ideologies, modern components like price, quality, availability, as well as personal and moral beliefs to make a choice. While conducting SPI on myself, I analyzed that all these factors make much difference to my life compared to ethics. Hence, I get affected by the external and internal stimuli as I discussed before. Clothes that I buy undergoes domestic laundry and dry cleaning. While conducting SPI on myself, I realized that domestic laundry and dry cleaning actually creates a lot of water pollution, because these processes releases a lot of toxins, and detergents has a lot of chemicals in it. I realized in the due course that I am aware about these factors, but actually it never affects my buying behavior. The positive attitude towards ethics exists, but my buying behavior is not influenced or complementing the same. Because I'm an impulse buyer, I enjoy the experience like sales, promotion, price, quality, brand, which supersedes my behavior of ethics. And hence, there's a clear gap between my attitude and behavior. Also, India doesn't have a culture of recycling, and I realized in the due course that because I'm very fashion oriented, whatever clothes are new in the fashion, I just buy them, and the earlier clothes go for a throwaway culture, which means that the product lose their intrinsic value and they were disposed before their real life cycle ended. Selling clothes online is also not a culture in India, and it's not a business so far. So which means that the clothes that I buy that have lost value are not fashionable anymore, just gets dumped like that. Converting from a non-ethical consumer to an ethical consumer cannot happen overnight. But SPI has actually helped me, and now I ask these questions for myself before making an impulse buying behavior, before making an impulse purchase. Do I really need the product? Am I going to wear it for a longer time? What kind of quality of the product it is? Will my culture or my society accept me wearing that? Because I have started asking these questions to myself, actually my buying has become more rational and easier. It saves more time and money, and it might make me an ethical consumer after some time. To the marketing managers, what I would like to recommend that impulsive shoppers like me are very easy to be influenced. There are a couple of key things that I would like to recommend that they should take care, and if they do it right, probably they will get a lot of impulse shoppers like me. Number one is placement of key merchandise. Having products put by the side of the door, by the till, or at the point of sale where one is making payments. If you're placing your products at these sections, the possibility that an impulse shopper will buy them increases. Grouping products together is important for easy identification as well as cross-selling and upselling. A good shopping layout is about disrupting the consumer's thinking, getting them to take notice and to take their time browsing. Second recommendation, complementary products. Placing the complementary products together can help consumers remember how well they go together. Example, keeping shoes next to insoles, encouraging add-on sales, etc. Third recommendation, expensive versus cheap. Having a £200 dress kept next to a dress on sale of £40 is likely to encourage shoppers looking for a bargain. Mixing low and high price point products will encourage bargain hunters. Number 4, special offers and free gift. Who doesn't like special offers and free gifts? It creates a lot of emotional bond. So there are a number of ways of doing it, like in-store SMS messaging or pop-ups and specially targeted offers on your website. Number 4, and the most important one, the promotions and discounts. In today's day, every impulse shopper gets affected with the promotions and discounts like buy 2, get 1 free, buy at 50% discount, 3-2-1 offer. These really excites the impulse shopper. To conclude the presentation, I would just like to say that subjective personal introspection has actually helped me understand that I'm an impulsive shopper for whom a lot of factors make an influence on the buying behavior, and the culture plays a key role in deciding how my impulse behaves. So for example, in UK, my allocentrism level is low, whereas in India, it's high. Because in UK, there is no conformity that I have to seek, and there is no one from whom I have to take a social approval before doing anything. Also in the due course, I analyzed that I'm not an ethical consumer, but the SPI has helped me to think about it and consider a lot of factors before making an impulse purchase. And I've understood that conscious and rational decision making is always better than showing a hedonic or emotional behavior. Thank you.